Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back, or welcome to another Bangs audio review. Today's victim is the BGVP NS10. The BGVP NS10 Pro. Yeah, it's just a lot of letters, Well, and numbers in this case, and then more letters, and then. But anyway, I've been working on my BGVP. So I don't say BVGP, but I end up saying BGVP, thinking I'm saying BVGP. Are you confused about it? I'm confused. Are you confused yet? I'm confused. I almost feel like starting this over, but fuck it. So anyway, the NS10 Pro, there is a previous NS10, and that is available at our friends, Syeindunce Audio. Their website is syeindunce.net. And a thank you to Harrison for chopping the $200 price tag in half for me for the review. I really appreciate that. And I want to be honest and forthright with you guys. Same thing happened with the Feather. I got that for half price in return for doing a fair and honest review, which is what I try to do all the time anyway. So, works out. Anyway, for the next week, starting today, January 24th, and running through the 31st, we'll just call it midnight Eastern Standard Time, right? So we're going to run a 10% discount for subscribers on the NS10 Pro, and you'll just have to contact me via Discord or Reddit at BasedDad8. Or if we've got to go the Facebook Messenger route, we can do that. That's just Christopher Bangs. If you look at the, the picture is my wife, me, my son, and a snowman from about 3 years ago or so, maybe even 4 years ago now, because that might be the last time it actually snowed that much until this winter in Western New York. So, yes, we're going to run that promo for a week. It'll save you $20 off the set. That's a nice little chunk of change. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I think we're going to try to do this on most of the sets that I review that are through Syeindunce Audio at this point. And that discount will be good on their website, not on Amazon, just on their direct website. So, all that being said, let's get into a little unbox and specs with the NS10 Pro. As I said, the price is $200. It sits right between the Feather, which is $109, and the DMA, which is $300. They've got a bunch of other sets now. If you look at the Syeindunce website, you will see them in all their glory. There's a ton of sets. At some point, I hope to get to all of them. At least the current releases. Maybe not every single one of them, and maybe not the Kilobuck sets, because there are, I think, a couple of those are close to it. But anyway, the NS10 Pro, it comes with a very nice, I would call this, any Minecraft fans out there will recognize this color as dark prismarine. If you're not a fan of Minecraft, Google Minecraft dark prismarine, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So it's similar to the other BGVP cases, meaning very high quality, leather, spacious, baggable, not necessarily pocketable, but winter jacket pocketable for sure. I just did that because I took these to the grocery store. And a very nice modular cable. Very nice modular cable. Get the deets on that in a minute when we do the specs on the rest. So there's your same as the Feather. It's got a notch, and then it's a magnetic sort of seal there to keep them from just popping off willy-nilly. Comes with 3.5 and 4.4. Those are included. I should say they're included with the modular cable, which allowed me to do the frequency response graph measurements using the stock cable, which is just something that I like to do. I don't know if it makes all that much difference, but it just makes me feel better when I can do it that way. You have 3 different tuning nozzles / filters. It does come with the silver pre-installed, and the silver ones are the shallowest. And then you've got gold, and then you've got red, and those are just a shade. I think the gold are the deepest. Yeah, the gold are like the tallest. Maybe that's why I ended up liking the gold the best. Anyway, you'll see on the graph that it's minimal differences, but I can tell you that you could hear the differences much better than you can see the differences, since we do hear with our ears and not our eyes, right? All right, so outside of the really nice cable, modular cable, and the tuning filters and the case, you'll recognize the box is pretty similar to the Feather, except it's finished in dark prismarine instead of white. And ear tips here, cable here, IEMs were here inside of the case, and your user manual. Nice unbox. I like the fact that it's the same as the Feather. Like, they didn't go, and the DMA's box is even, I think, a little bit less spectacular, and I don't care. Like, I really don't. The boxes are well constructed, so they're going to protect, like probably survive a fall out of a plane, to be honest with you. And it seals magnetically, and that's a nice touch. And it's got the specs on the back, which is always helpful too, especially for reviewers like me. So here we go. Here are the specs for you. Impedance is 8 ohms. Sensitivity is 104 decibels. Frequency response 20 hertz to 40 kilohertz. And it is a 2DD 8BA hybrid. 2DD 8BA per side. That's not 1 and 4 per side. It's 2 and 8 per side. So seriously, lots of stuff in here. Lots of stuff packed into those shells. And surprisingly, the shells are not huge. Like, I think the D62 shells are bigger. I know the Nova shells, the Truther Nova shells are bigger. So yeah, there's a lot in there, which is pretty cool that they got it all in there. And you have a 3D printed acoustic cavity, CNC aluminum shell and faceplate. And I think this is like their patented venting system, which to me, like, if this vent were not there, these would be a pressure buildup nightmare. But that vent is there, and so it is not. Whatever they did with their venting doesn't seem to take anything away from the bass at all. But man, does it make them comfortable to wear for a long listening session without any trouble. Cable is your 4-strand single crystal copper silver plated. Just so you know what that is. It's not like a 6N or 7N or something like that. Obviously, it's not thick enough for that, but I think it's very nice. I think it's a very nice cable. And that's all the info I got from the back of the box. There's a little bit more info to get into as far as the specs go. So key features, array of 8 balanced armatures. We'll get into what those are. You're going to be impressed. 8mm and 6mm. So the 8mm is a dynamic driver. Sorry, and I misspoke. The 6mm is planar. So even though it says 8 and 2, it's really 8, 1, and 1. So it's a planar. It's an 8mm dynamic that handles the low. A 6mm planar, which probably handles low mids to mids. And then you've got, let me tell you what you got. You got some BAs, some serious BAs in there for, yes. All right, so let's see. DD is silicone membrane LCP diaphragm copper clad aluminum coil and 48 magnet, and then your 6mm planar diaphragm full copper coil with N52 magnets. They're not screwing around. For the mid-range, Denmark's Syeindunce 2300 series drivers. Yeah, baby. So you got 2 of those bad boys handling the mids. Then in the treble, you have Knowles RAF series with tuning ports. These guys, like I said, they didn't mess around at all. And then treble and super tweeter, more Knowles, right? Newly developed NFK 80817 dual composite driver. It's a refining the 31736 and 30095. Those are Knowles models. So this is, I think, a custom actually, but it's based off of Knowles, a refinement of the Knowles super tweeters to extend up to 40 kilohertz. Fine. I can't hear 40 kilohertz. I'm sure my dogs can, but it goes up there. So yeah, you're not going to have to worry about lack of treble energy or extension in this puppy. Let me tell you that. Anything else here? There's independent three-way sound chambers. Yes, that's right. And also acoustic tubes and all of the good stuff. Yeah, 5-axis CNC. And there's the filter tuning system. And we'll go into what they I'll leave this up, what they consider to be what filter goes with what sort of genre or genres. To me, it just came down to I had a preference. I just had a preference for one of the filters. That filter ended up being the gold filter over the other two, but you may like something different. So, okay, fit, build and fit. So build is, like I said, CNC aluminum with that nice vent. Faceplate also aluminum. I got the silver. They're also available in gray. I change it up here, and since I know I'm going to be ordering the Syeindunce ME600 at some point, hopefully sooner than later. I'm getting those in the black, so I wanted to get these in silver. I just try to keep it rotating change it up for me. They are heavy enough so you know that they're solid. No hard edges. Really, really, really comfortable. And because of this, I would call superior venting on these, you can wear them for a very, very, very long time without any pressure buildup and without any fatigue. From a physical sense of fatigue. When we get into sonic impressions in the graph, this may not be a tuning for every single person out there, but just like the feather, if you're super treble sensitive, maybe look somewhere else. But as I'm putting the cart ahead of the horse, the treble's so well done, it reminds me of the Fan 3 on the treble. Like, has that really super polished, even though it's fairly intense and energetic and extended, it's polished. And it's got to be all those just amazing BA drivers working together out there, right? So let's get into the graph and sonic impressions since we're here. The first graph I'm going to put up is, this is the left-right overlay with the stock, meaning the nozzles it came with, which is the silver. The silver nozzles are the shallowest, I guess you would call it. Oh, here they are. I was like, what did I do? Yeah, they are like the least tall. They're the shortest, right? Red is sort of like the medium height or tallness, whatever you want to call it. And then the gold filters are definitely the tallest. Although, I mean, we're talking millimeter differences here. And there's no point in me even trying to put it on the camera. But they also have slightly different holes, like hole patterns in them. Yeah, I don't know. I just really, really like how the gold presented everything, from soundstage to treble to bass to everything. So that's what I listen to the most with them. You can see here, in fact, I think I'm going to bring the gold up just so I can talk about my favorite. Gold. Yes. Or maybe it was the orange. Here we go. Okay. So, let's take a look here. Silver, red, gold. There we go. Gold is green. There we go. Mid-bass slams in these guys. Like, it's just so nice. I mean, like I think where the D62 sort of lacks a little bit in that mid-bass slam, I'll agree with my buddy Rogue on that one. Even though I love the shit out of the D62, I think it's a fan-freaking-tastic set. It was tied for my best of 2024. I would say that the bass on the NS10 Pro is more satisfying. It really is. It has that punch and slam that you're looking for. If you're a fan of mid bass, as far as the sub bass goes, it's there, just slightly rolled off. So when I go to the drops on Agony, Slaughter to Prevail, it doesn't quite have that rumble that some other sets present. That being said, it still exists. It's still present. It's just not over the mid bass. It's a little bit under the mid bass insofar as authority goes. But here's the cool thing about the bass is that it definitely does. It's controlled, it's precise, it's articulate, it's accurate, it's heavy, like the feather, but it also definitely decays, rolls off enough so there's no bleed. I think the feather felt like there was a little bleed into the mids. In the NS10 Pro, there's no bleed at all. It is just the mids are clean and clear and not super warm, but they don't need to be. They're just very clear and concise without being clinical. There's some warmth to them. There's some, what do you call it, humidity there, a little bit of moisture going on, which is nice. And then you're into the ear gain, which is a very nice, it's kind of for me almost perfect. It's not too it's not too energetic. It doesn't go woo way up, and it's not too flat where it leaves you going, I need more energy there. It's one of the most important parts of tuning an IEM is getting the ear gain, the pinna gain energy correct between 1 and 3K. These guys kind of nailed it. They really did. And then beyond that, we're in treble land, and the treble, as you can see, extends really nicely. Just a slight roll off until you get to about 12 to 14K, and then even at 20, it's still displaying. It didn't drop all the way down off of the graph like a lot of sets do after you get past 14 or 15K. Granted, everything past 8K is, the IEC 711 rig is not known for being super accurate past 8K, so you can kind of take that with a grain of salt. But at the same time, the treble does extend, and it does go up into the air region. There's enough there, and you can hear it and feel it in the stage, and the detail retrieval, and sort of just it's that shimmeriness going on. It's got absolutely zero BA timbre, nothing that would make you go, oh, those are BAs. I hear that swishiness. No, there's nothing like that happening with this set. Maybe it is the fact that it tapers off fairly significantly past 10, 12K, but I don't feel like there's a lack of energy there. I just feel like there's a lack of, that hissy, sizzy kind of thing going on, which is so nice. Because every time I put in a BA hybrid set, I worry that I'm going to get that BA timbre, and I don't like it. I don't like it, Yeah, nothing like that happening here. This is just a beautifully tuned, very energetic, very exciting, but still very polished, a lot of finesse, a lot of just... This would have made the top 5 in 2024 had I gotten it prior to putting that list out. Just put it that way. It would definitely have been top 5 in that 150 plus range that I did. I don't know who would have booted out. Not ready to say that, but it would have gone in, even if it was tied 5. It might have booted the cadenza out. I don't know, because it might have. Probably would have, actually, now that I think about it. So yeah, I would take this over the cadenza. I would take this over just about anything else from a hybrid standpoint, outside of the DMA, outside of the D62, outside of the Fan 3, and maybe the Estrella. Those sets they've got something going on for sure. And of course, my beloved Hodor is still going to be probably my all-time favorite for always. But that's an EST, so it's kind of that's a hard one to comp. for me, because I only have that one EST set with an EST driver in it. The NS10 Pro for me, you know, sorry, I kind of glossed over the comp a little bit, but the D62 and the NS10 Pro, where they part ways, is really in the bass. Beyond that, as far as mids and treble go, I think they're fairly comparable. I will give resolution the edge to the D62 by just a smidge. Just clarity, resolution, just a little tiny bit better on the D62, and I did A/B them, you know. But as far as naturalness of timbre goes, I'm going back to the NS10 Pro for that. Because even though it's very energetic in the treble, I feel like it is a very natural timbre. And I think that's where it sort of exceeds the D62. So they're like a dead-on tie, you know. If you like more bass, more natural timbre, a little more warmth, then you're going to go with the NS10 Pro. If you like a little bit more tech, a little bit more detail, then you're going to go with a little more clarity, then you're going to go with the D62. And if you value imaging above everything else, then you're going to go with the Fan 3. Headstage, soundstage, headstage, thank you, Sforzable. That's a great word for it. I put these in the well above average, but not like crazy immersive. What I like about the stage on these is that it's accurate. It has good imaging. It doesn't feel like you're not like, you know, getting like lost in the ether. You know, it wraps around your head, but it stays fairly, not intimate, but fairly close. You know, so you're not like just swimming in it. You know, and that I think keeps it articulate, keeps it precise. The imaging is excellent. Placement is excellent. Separation's excellent. So even though it's not the hugest soundstage, certainly doesn't really compete with the DMA as far as soundstage goes, it's appropriate. It's a well done, well-rounded set. And speaking of which, it was across the board's another all-rounder. You know, it did not have a weakness. One thing I really felt like was awesome were like female vocals, especially more of the alto. So Melody Gardot sounded perfect, and that's hard to do because her voice is very rich and heady, and you know, just the NS10 Pro, she sounded perfect, like literally perfect with it. So yeah, Adele and Taylor and Billie and Eilish and Holiday, they all sounded fantastic. Yeah, and I'd have to say the same male vocals had plenty of weight and plenty of power. So if you like vocals, you're going to like this set too. That's one of the strong points of many. Anything else on this? Yeah, really good price. Excellent value if you call $200 a value if you can. It performs well above its price point to me. Like literally going to lose it if I keep getting sets like this because I'm going to run out of like adjectives and praise. But yeah, really nice job by BGVP in this one. And definitely, I would say it's easily a top 7 set for me, maybe even a top 5 of overall of everything I've tried. It's up there, and it's just really enjoyable to listen to. One of the more natural sets. Definitely one of the more natural sounding sets with BAs that I've ever had in my ears. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it. Highly recommended. Another highly recommended set from BGVP. I would say this is where you want to be if you want a hybrid set for $200 or less that has dynamic, planar, and balanced armature. Yeah, you're not going to do much better, honestly. So well done, BGVP. I love your stuff. You guys are freaking awesome. Hopefully I can help you guys grow as you in turn can help me grow, because honestly, like, if this is what you guys do, the Feather, the DMA, and the NS10 Pro, if this is what you guys do, then I'm on board fully with you. Yeah, prices are right, quality is right, accessories are right, everything's right, everything's good. Okay, BGVP, NS10 Pro, that's it. For now, I'm going to say, be careful, be safe, try extra hard to be nice, okay? Let's all try to get along a little bit better, please, if we can. We're all people, and we all love music, so there we go. All right. Be careful, be safe, be nice. Love y'all. Nothing but peace to you.